Your programming knowledge is completely broken. The feedback from today's interview keeps haunting your mind. It's now 2 a.m. You rest your hand on your forehead, stare at the ceiling, then let out a long sigh of frustration. After waiting a whole month just to get one interview, you still ended up failing badly. During the interview, the recruiter asked you to explain the payment feature code in your own graduation project. Ironically, that was the exact project that helped you graduate with honors just 1 month ago. But all you could do was stammer out vague ideas, unable to explain how each line of code actually works. And then another unexpected question hit: why didn't you use a transaction for this part? You freeze, your face turning pale. The word transaction sounds familiar, like you've seen it somewhere before, but your mind goes completely blank on what it actually means. All you can do is scratch your head and awkwardly admit, actually, I'm not really sure what a transaction is. The interviewer looks at you, gives an awkward smile, and slightly shakes his head. Even so, he patiently gives you one last chance. I can see the admin permission check code is repeated in many places. Can you optimize it for me? You quickly place your hands on the keyboard, trying to salvage a sliver of hope, but every few words you type, you erase right away. Your mind is blank, and you have no idea how to continue. At this moment, without AI assistance, you're completely lost. You feel alone, weak, and clueless about what to do next, helpless, like a fish on the chopping board. Using AI isn't wrong, but you're overusing AI while not mastering the fundamentals yourself. So your programming mindset is basically broken. Your face burns, and your fists clench under the table in embarrassment at this brutally honest feedback from the recruiter. He continues pointing at the screen and says, "Look at this code generated by AI. It runs, but it has too many problems. Duplicated logic everywhere, loose architecture, sensitive data that should be protected is sent straight to the front end. It even packs in heavy, unnecessary technologies." Think about it. If you don't master the fundamentals, how are you going to control the quality of what AI writes? He sighs, his voice lower now. Real-world work is much more complex. Let me give you an example. It's the same payment feature, but if I build it for 2 different clients, the code is almost completely different. Each client has different business requirements, budget, and delivery timeline. If you don't master the fundamentals, how are you going to advise them on the best solution? See, it's not about patching code until it runs. You need to understand this. Our main goal is not to write code, but to create solutions. Code that runs is only the first basic step. Behind it are architecture, security, scalability, and hundreds of other issues. By now, I guess you understand what I mean, right? His words hit you like a bucket of cold water, jolting you awake. Looking back at your 4 years in university, you kept watching tutorial after tutorial, learning one technology after another. But when doing projects, you relied entirely on AI. All of it just to hide one truth: your foundation is hollow. You realized you built a house, but forgot the foundation. Just a light breeze like today's interview was enough to make everything collapse. You know that if you keep interviewing, you'll only get the same result again. Finally, you decide to relearn everything from scratch. But then, you're immediately shut down by an even bigger question: but where do I even start now? An entire ocean of knowledge appears in front of you, and you don't even know where your foundation started to break, or how to make sure this time you won't fall into the same trap and waste time again. You let out a sigh. Your eyes stare blankly into space, unsure where your future is heading. I understand this feeling. Honestly, it's not because you're incapable, but because we live in an era with too much information. You don't need to learn everything. Instead of chasing every new framework and AI model released each month, what matters more is to go back and master the fundamentals and strengthen your core knowledge. No matter how fast technology changes, mastering the fundamentals is the key to survival and long-term career success. From 2026 onward, the learning philosophy is lean and cut back, not trying to carry everything at once. So you need a just enough roadmap, enough to help you build a strong foundation, enough to meet current market hiring needs, enough to build your root, helping you grow a sustainable career later. After completing this roadmap, I promise you will be confident confident to plan and build a complete system from zero, from the front-end interface all the way to a complex back-end server. You can even build mobile applications that run on both iOS and Android. So what does this roadmap include? Let's explore it together right now. First, you'll start with the most important knowledge in this entire roadmap, the JavaScript language. JavaScript is one of the most widely used programming languages today. Many famous technologies like React, Angular, Node.js are all built on JavaScript. Not only that, JavaScript syntax is very beginner-friendly, making it a great choice for newcomers. However, you don't learn JavaScript just because it's popular, but because through JavaScript, you will build a solid foundation and strong logical thinking in the early stage. Remember this, foundational knowledge and logical thinking are extremely important for a professional programmer. In fact, they are far more important than how many new technologies you know. Once you have mastered JavaScript, learning the remaining knowledge in this roadmap will become much easier. So in practice, what do people use JavaScript for? For example, when you're reading an article with thousands of comments, the website initially shows only the first 20 comments. When you scroll to the bottom, the site loads and displays the next 20 comments. And this process continues like that. To implement this feature, JavaScript is used to detect whether you have scrolled near the bottom of the page. If yes, JavaScript quickly asks the server to send more data for the next 20 comments. After receiving data from the server, JavaScript displays it on the interface so you can see it. This entire process happens seamlessly, without reloading the page. Thanks to JavaScript, you can turn a regular static web page into a fully functional application. Before we move to the next knowledge area, there is one extremely important thing I need to tell you. Otherwise, even if you finish the whole roadmap, if your learning method is wrong, your final result still goes back to zero. What I want to talk about is how to use AI during the learning stage. When working, you will definitely use AI regularly to improve productivity. However, during learning, you should limit AI usage as much as possible. You must absolutely not use AI to suggest solutions when doing exercises. The solution must come from your own thinking, and you should only use AI to remind you of syntax you've already learned when you forget it. I have an example to make this clearer. Suppose you are doing an exercise that asks you to find even numbers in an array. It's a mistake if you don't spend time thinking and immediately rush to ask AI, "Solve this exercise for me." Then you look at AI-generated code, copy it in, and run the program. You might think, I can read and understand AI's code, so what's the problem? And falsely assume you now have that problem-solving skill. But in reality, everything is still zero, because you have lost the most valuable opportunity to think for yourself and train your logical thinking. Knowledge is still outside of you. It isn't truly yours unless you can do it yourself. If you can't solve such a basic problem on your own, how will you analyze and handle complex problems later at work? Instead, pause and don't rush to write code. Build the habit of reasoning on your own and drafting your solution first. For example, you can reason like this. An even number is divisible by 2, so I need to use the percent operator to get the remainder. If the remainder is 0, it's even. Otherwise, it's odd. Then, to check each number, I need to use a loop to iterate through every element in the array. Inside each loop, I'll check whether the current element is divisible by 2. If it is divisible by 2, I'll display the value on screen so it's easier to see. After you have your draft solution, then you convert that draft into real lines of code. While writing code, if you forget the for loop syntax, you can use AI to remind you of the for loop syntax. Once you remember it, continue finishing your code. This is the right way to learn, helping you train logical thinking and avoid dependence on AI. In short, reason out the solution yourself and only ask AI when you forget syntax. This may take time and you will write incorrect code many times, but that is normal. It is exactly through writing wrong code that you learn from experience which knowledge should be applied and which should not for each specific case. Gradually, you will build your own experience. The next knowledge area in this roadmap is HTML and CSS. HTML and CSS help you build and shape website interfaces exactly the way you want. Look at this default button. It has a pretty plain appearance. If you master CSS, you can set an eye-catching blue background, bold white text, rounded borders, and even create smooth motion effects whenever users hover over it. HTML and CSS theory is often considered easier to understand than other subjects because it's very visual. You can immediately see results as you learn. However, don't be overconfident because of that. The hard part of HTML and CSS is not learning theory, but applying it flexibly to build interfaces with absolute precision according to strict client or company requirements. This is not as easy as you think. Sometimes screens that look simple at first glance still require you to spend a lot of time to implement exactly according to the design. So, you need to be truly serious and patient when learning HTML and CSS. You just got to the company and immediately received an urgent request from your boss. The client wants to restore the PDF report export feature. Deadline is in 1 hour. Ironically, because the client previously said to hide it for now, you accidentally deleted that feature's entire source code. This was a feature that took you 2 full days to finish. Now the code is gone and can't be recovered. You have to rewrite it from scratch. But how can you possibly finish in 1 hour? This is one of the common issues you can rarely avoid in real work. But if you know how to use Git, everything becomes incredibly simple. Git is a source code management tool that helps you create backups of your project at different points in time. Back to the previous example, if you used Git to save the source code before deleting the PDF export feature, then even if you accidentally deleted everything, you'd only need a few simple Git commands to restore it exactly as it was. After mastering JavaScript, Git, HTML, and CSS, you can already be considered a basic programmer. With just this knowledge, you can build most common websites in today's market. In fact, more than 10 years ago, these were exactly the required skills for someone to confidently apply for jobs and join real projects. However, at the current time, market requirements are much higher. To get a job, you need to learn and become proficient with advanced frameworks. The reason is that projects today are more complex. If you code only with vanilla JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, it will cost a lot of time and money. Frameworks were created to solve this. They provide built-in supporting tools, helping projects develop faster, reduce costs, and follow certain quality standards. Because of these benefits, most companies prioritize using frameworks. At this point, you might ask, why not just learn frameworks right away to save time? Why spend time on foundational subjects like JavaScript, HTML, and CSS? You're not alone. Many beginners in programming think the same way. And this is their biggest mistake, jumping straight into frameworks when their fundamentals are still weak, getting more confused as they learn, not understanding the essence, losing foundational knowledge, feeling discouraged, and finally giving up. The truth is, to learn and master frameworks, you must first master the fundamentals, because everything in frameworks is built on top of foundational knowledge. If you don't master the fundamentals, you won't understand why the code works, and the result is that you only memorize mechanically. That's why I always emphasize, fundamentals are the most important thing in programming. Technology can become outdated, but if you have a solid foundation, it will help you succeed in any era. Basically, frameworks can be divided into 2 main groups. First is the front-end framework group, used to build website interfaces. Second is the back-end framework group, used to handle business logic on the server side. For front-end frameworks, there are 3 most popular technologies today. First is React, second is Angular, and finally, Vue.js. All 3 are top choices. However, you should choose only one framework to learn. Don't try to learn everything. because that will only make your knowledge shallow and waste unnecessary time. Here, I recommend choosing React, because React currently has the highest hiring demand. React not only dominates the hiring market, but is also stable thanks to being backed by a major tech corporation, Meta. And it would be a waste not to take this chance to also learn Next.js and React Native, because after mastering React, learning these two technologies becomes extremely easy and much more time efficient. Think of Next.js as an extended version of React. It provides built-in essential features to help you build projects quickly without spending extra time and effort rebuilding everything from zero. Popular websites you use every day like TikTok, Netflix, Nike are all built with Next.js. As for React Native, it lets you use React architecture to quickly build mobile apps for both iOS and Android with just one codebase. Similar to React, React Native is also developed by Meta, and the Facebook app you use daily is one of the iconic products built with React Native. Of course, hiring demand for Next.js and React Native is also very high right now. Adding knowledge of these two technologies creates a huge competitive advantage for you. It helps your profile stand out among thousands of other candidates, significantly increasing future job opportunities and income. At this stage, you can confidently apply for front-end developer positions. However, companies today often prefer candidates who understand the system as a whole, so learning backend is almost mandatory. In the next part of this roadmap, we will explore backend technologies together. First, you will learn MySQL to understand how data is stored on the server, as well as how to write queries as efficiently as possible. You can roughly imagine that server data is stored in a database management system called MySQL. And to query data in MySQL, you need to learn how to write SQL statements. Whether the server sends data to the interface quickly or slowly depends heavily on your SQL skills. In addition, you can also write SQL statements to insert, delete, and update data. Besides MySQL, there are other popular database management systems such as SQL Server, PostgreSQL, Oracle, and all of them use SQL statements to work with data. After retrieving data from MySQL, to ensure security, data should not be sent directly to the interface. Instead, it should pass through a backend framework. There, the backend framework is responsible for handling business logic, user authentication, and data formatting to ensure data is safe and properly structured before being shown on the interface. And the backend framework you will learn in this roadmap is Express.js, one of today's most popular backend frameworks, built on Node.js. After finishing Express.js, you can move on to Next.js. Next.js is a framework built on Express.js. Therefore, once you master Express.js, learning Next.js becomes more convenient and easier. However, if you don't have much time, you can completely skip Next.js. By this point, you have enough knowledge to build a complete system by yourself, from the front-end interface to the back-end server infrastructure. If your goal is to build your own product for personal work, you can stop here and start building immediately. Don't wait anymore. On the other hand, if your goal is to learn in order to work at a company, then you must continue to the final part of this roadmap. When your project has around 1,000 lines of code, things are usually still under control. But when your project grows beyond 10,000 lines of code, everything becomes extremely complex. If you don't know how to organize source code properly, fixing bugs or adding new features will take a lot of time. Even more dangerous is when you fix one place but accidentally create errors in many other places. To solve this, object-oriented programming, also known as OOP, is foundational knowledge you must master. When applying OOP, your source code is no longer messy, but packaged into independent modules. This helps you easily reuse old code without spending time rewriting from scratch. Thanks to this mindset of splitting projects into independent modules, maintaining and upgrading the system also becomes much safer and faster. When something breaks, you only need to fix that exact place, minimizing the risk of fixing one part and accidentally causing errors elsewhere. At the same time, adding new features also causes as few conflicts as possible. Because of these advantages, OOP is always one of the top topics recruiters use in interviews to evaluate your capability. The final part of this roadmap is algorithms and data structures. When looking at a piece of code, how can you analyze how fast or slow it runs, or how much memory it consumes? Or with a system that has millions of user data records, how can you write code to perform searches in just a few milliseconds? To do that, you must learn and master the foundational knowledge of algorithms and data structures. This is also the best stage to train your logical thinking. When you have logical thinking, your problem-solving skills improve significantly. Only then can you provide effective solutions for your clients or company. Remember this: the true value of a programmer is not how much knowledge you know or how many technologies you use proficiently, but whether you can solve problems for clients. Training algorithms and data structures is the fastest and safest way to achieve this. I have also trained many students who are already programmers with over 5 years of experience. Their common situation was being stuck and not knowing how to move up to leader or senior positions. They might know many technologies. However, when I gave a slightly complex problem, almost none of them could analyze and provide an effective solution. The main reason is that they had not mastered algorithms and data structures, leading to limited logical thinking. At this point, I promise you, you already have enough skills and knowledge to confidently conquer technical interview rounds, even the hardest ones. Besides that, once you have solid foundational knowledge, learning new technologies becomes much easier. However, at this moment, it would be a major gap if you don't know how to use AI in your work. Try searching and learning more about hot topics right now, such as AI agents and MCP servers. But remember, AI is only a supporting tool. Learn it only after you have mastered the fundamentals. After completing this full-stack roadmap, you will have equipped yourself with the knowledge and skills of a professional programmer today.